Đấy. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon po. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another R3 High Ed Bayanihan webinar, an initiative of the Commission on Higher Education, Regional Office 3. R3 High Ed Bayanihan is a series of webinars that advocates the Bayanihan spirit through a virtual, free, cooperative learning environment for capacity building and sharing of educational resources among higher education institutions. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Mr. Arnie Armada, a faculty member of the College of Computer Studies of Gordon College. I will be responsible for moderating this webinar for today. So today's webinar is entitled Utilization of Online Learning Platforms and Development of a Learning Management System, or LMS. We are very grateful to the men and women of CHED Regional Office 3, headed by Dr. Maria Teresita Macanas Semana, because they have chosen and partnered with Gordon College to deliver this very relevant and timely topic to our HEI friends in the region and in our country. We at Gordon College are also grateful to all participants who are joining us in this webinar via Zoom and through our live stream on YouTube. And please allow me to mention all the HEIs that are with us today. We have our friends from ALCU, or Association of Local Colleges and Universities, Region 3 chapter. We also have our friends from Baliwag University. Shoutout po sa inyo kung nandyan po kayo nanonood sa ating Zoom tsaka sa ating YouTube live. Our friends from Bataan Heroes Memorial College. Then we have from Bulacan Polytechnic College. Then we have from Bulacan State University. We also have our friends from Bulacan Agricultural State College. And then, of course, we have our partners from CHED Regional Office 3. We have our friends from City College of San Fernando, Pampanga. We have from College of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. We have participants from Columban College in Santa Cruz, Zambales. We have from Cotabato City State Polytechnic College, all the way from Cotabato. Thank you for participating. We have our friends from the Department of Education. Then we have from participants from Don Honorio Ventura State University. Then, of course, from the host school, we have from Gordon College. We have our friends from Guaguac Community College. We have from participants from Holy Angel University. Good afternoon po sa inyo. We have from Holy Cross College. We have from Immaculate Conception College of Arts and Technology. Good afternoon po. We have from La Verdad Christian College. We have from Mabalacat City College. We also have participants from Magsaysay Memorial College of Zambales Incorporated. We also have our friends from Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology. We have participants from Our Lady of the Sacred Heart College of Gimba Incorporated. We have friends from Pangasinan State University. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We also have participants from Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Bataan. Then we have from Subic Bay Colleges Incorporated. Then we have from Tarlac Agricultural University. Then we have our friends from Tarlac State University. And last but not the least, our friends from the University of the Assumption. So thank you very much for sharing your time, and you joined us in this webinar. So thank you also for the opportunity that you gave uh, for Gordon College to share our experiences, all for the benefit of our students in these trying times. To formally start our webinar, may I invite everyone to join us in an opening prayer to be followed by the singing of our national anthem and the singing of the Olongapo City hymn.
We are gathered and given the opportunity to appreciate life and your words. Forgive us for our shortcomings and cleanse our hearts as we learn and live your words and example. Father, bless our endeavors, especially today's meeting. May you guide us in our discussions, and may you enlighten our minds in every decision that we make. Give us your grace that we may effectively do our parts for your greater glory. All this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Lungsod na mapayapa, lungsod na marangal, sublas ng silangan, bayani ang mamamayan. Mga sakit sa bayan, sa puso'y naglululay, ipinagbubunyi, olonggap mo aming bayan. Kapwa-taon, voluntarismo, lungsod na makulay, may pagmalaging gabay. Sama-sama bawat oras, sa pag-ilat, tulong ako ang bayan, ika'y walang katulan. Kapwa-taon, voluntarismo, lungsod na makulay, may pagmalaging gabay. Sama-sama bawat oras, sa pag-ilat, tulong ako ang bayan, ika'y aming panglan.
It is a great pleasure for me to introduce our college president who will give us welcoming remarks. Please give a warm virtual applause to Ms. Arlida M. Pame, College President of Gordon College.
Thank you, Mr. Arnie Armada, our College of Computer Studies Program Coordinator. Also, please allow me to greet the following officials and guests. Our two resource speakers this afternoon, Dr. Erlinda Abarintos, our VP for Admin and Finance, at the same time, the Dean of the College of Computer Studies of Gordon College, Mr. Milner Balse, our CCS faculty and web developer of Gordon College, to Dr. Maria Teresita Macanas Semana, the OIC Officer in Charge of CHED Region 3, Dr. Maria Teresa Salta, Education Supervisor 3 of the CHED Regional Office, Dr. Darwin Pagyo, the VP for Academic Affairs of Gordon College, faculty members of the different higher education institutions of Region 3, good afternoon. Welcome to one of the webinar series of Region 3 Higher Education Bayanihan. It is a pleasure and an honor for Gordon College, a local city college located in Olongapo City, to be a part of these Bayanihan activities of HEIs in Region 3, spearheaded by the CHED Regional Office 3 under the leadership of Dr. Semana, as part of its support to HEIs in the region to lessen the impact of COVID-19 pandemic to educational institutions. We are proud to say that even at the start of the planning of these activities, Gordon College was already working along with other HEIs as part of the technical working group. And today I would like to acknowledge the support extended by our technical working group representative, Professor Eder Magsayo. This pandemic may have affected us so much, but one of its good impact is bringing together all HEIs to plan activities in support to the new mode of teaching and learning. Maybe except for a few SUCs, the flexible modes of learning are new to us. Gordon College is blessed to have a to get through the last part of the second semester and this first semester of academic year 2020. Please know that we started our classes last August 24 using the online-offline modes. It is very challenging to everyone, this new norm, but with the support of CHED and the cooperation of every HEI in the region, by sharing resources such as this webinar, we are confident that we will get through beyond this pandemic. Gordon College is here to support all CHED Region 3 initiatives and to help in any way we can. Again, welcome everyone to this webinar. Thank you. God bless us all and be safe.
Thank you, Ma'am Arlida Pame, for your kind and warm welcome remarks. Next, let's hear an inspiring opening message from our Vice President for Academic Affairs. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Darwin P. Pagyo, Vice President for Academic Affairs of Gordon College. A warm virtual applause, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir Arnie. Naririnig po ba ako, Sir Arnie?
Yes, sir.
Sir Arnie?
Opo. Naririnig po, sir.
Okay. To our CHEDRO Director. Okay, thank you very much, sir. To our CHEDRO 3 Director, Dr. Maria Teresita Macana Semana. To Dr. Maria Teresa S. Salta, Education Supervisor 2, CHEDRO 3. to the BOT Chairman of Gordon College, Attorney Roland C. Paulino Jr., to our College President, Ma'am Erlida Pame, to our College Administrator, Dr. Imelda D.P. Soriano, to our colleagues and presenter for this afternoon event, Dr. Erlinda Casella Abarintos, with Mr. Melner Balse, and also the College of Computer Studies, to the different participant HEI schools from Region 3, a pleasant afternoon to everyone. So this pandemic had taken us a lot of obstacle, not only economically, but also academically. And as far as we are all our education branches, solve and handle it pretty well, giving us countless of solutions and alternatives to continue education despite of the hard time that we are in. As such, I want to congratulate ourselves with all the hard work that we have done these past few months. We enter a new era of education, and I am positive that this will make a great impact for the future of education. With the help of technologies and its continuous updates, we are able to make education possible for all. Let us also appreciate the countless efforts of organizers and academic leaders to make webinars possible and accessible to everyone. With this, today's webinar will tackle and discuss on how we can fully utilize the online learning platforms. These topics, this topic aims to help a lot of educators, as most of us are aware that we have online learning platforms but unfamiliar on how we can maximize it. With this, let us remember that we are not spared from criticism. Put into our minds that we will encounter millions of with the transition in our educational system. We should be ready and we should be open. Let the criticisms be the mirror so we can fully discern and appreciate our shortcomings. So in the end, we can successfully surpass all the obstacles that we will face in the process of this said transition. Today, let's consider ourselves lucky for the things that we have and for the capabilities of technologies that we are using. But let's not forget that we are living in an unfair world. Maybe what we have and what we can use during these times are too much for other people. So as much as possible, may we never lose our calm and may we always be considerate and may we always remember that our biggest responsibility today as educators is to make education accessible to everyone. Again, we welcome you for this afternoon activity of Region 3 HEI Bayanihan. God bless Cedro 3 and God bless Gordon College.
Thank you very much, Sir Darwin Pagio, for your opening message. Now, let us all watch an audio-video presentation of Gordon College that summarizes our collective effort to deliver quality education and serve our community with excellence, character, and service.
Founded in February 24, 1999, Gordon College was an offshoot of the Olongapo City Training Center.
a former training center for skilled manpower set for employment at the naval facility of the United States. The unavailability of affordable tertiary institutions for urban poor sector of the population led the city government of Olongapo to open the Olongapo City Colleges through City Ordinance Number 9, Series of 1999. In 2002, the name Olongapo City Colleges was changed to Gordon College. Through City Ordinance Number 42 in the same year, the college was officially accepted as a member of the Association of Local Colleges and Universities. With its new 6-story building, Gordon College lies in the heart of the city, located at the Olongapo City Sports Complex in Barangay East Tapina, and is accessible through various public transportation means. Aside from affordable tuition, Gordon College makes quality education available to all through various scholarship programs. These programs help students to achieve their personal goals, to turn their dreams into reality, and to showcase their skills and talents. Proof of Gordon College's commitment to academic excellence. The institution is composed of competitive faculty members dedicated to impart knowledge, inspire, and guide students toward the fulfillment of their dreams and aspirations. With 57 classrooms, all air-conditioned and conducive for learning, laboratories with equipment built to enhance and develop skills, and other facilities for extracurricular activities. Gordon College, true to its vision, is on its way to be a premier local institution of higher learning in Region 3, committed to the holistic development of the human person and society by 2025. Gordon College is a very competitive school in terms of examination results. Yearly, Gordon College garners a number of awards, particularly with its consistent high passing rate for and other awards like each year, safety precautionary drills are conducted in Gordon College to ensure the safety of the students. Personnel, faculty, and students are trained to be prepared for natural calamities like earthquake and fire breakouts. Gordon College does not confine education within the four corners of the classroom. Education is taken to greater heights. Research, development, and community extension programs are done to promote compassion and service above self. Gordon College intends to initiate, catalyze, and sustain the development and establishment of a community service-oriented culture, utilizing the institution's expertise and available resources. The extension programs and services offered by the college is in pursuit of providing access to acquiring knowledge and technical skills for purposes such as people empowerment, entrepreneurship, productivity, and sustainability. The college offers Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts programs. It also offers graduate studies programs and senior high school programs. Level 1 programs accredited by the Association of Local Colleges and Universities Commission on Accreditation. Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. Bachelor of Science in Information Technology. Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Mathematics, Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Social Studies, Bachelor of Elementary Education, major in Preschool, Bachelor of Elementary Education, major in Generalist. Candidate status programs accredited by the Association of Local Colleges and Universities Commission on Accreditation. Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Filipino. Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in MAPE. Gordon College has always been ready for the setup in the new normal education. Since 2012, Gordon College has been a member of G Suite for Education. All students and personnel were provided with their Gordon College domain email address being used in online communications and collaborations. Also, Gordon College is now relaunching its very own Gordon College LAMP, Learner's Academic Management Portal. It has been upgraded to a better version to improve its user interface and user experience designs. It was in-house developed by a team from Gordon College College of Computer Studies led by Mr. Melner Basse and selected fourth-year BSCS and BSIT students. This August 2020, the Department of Information and Communications Technology, DICT, installed the free Wi-Fi in 4 access points located strategically within the Gordon College campus premises. This free Wi-Fi facility will help students, faculty, and staff when we transition back to face-to-face classes. Gordon College recognizes the growing demand for fresh graduates with specialized skill sets. To reach this demand, the college created tight bonds and partnerships from different sectors of the community. In doing so, together with its partners, they develop programs and combine various competencies that allows its students to be equipped with the technical knowledge and sufficient hands-on experience needed to succeed in this fast-paced life. 3 values guide the college: excellence, character, and service, which shall guide the institution's trifocal function of instruction, research, and extension.
Thank you very much for watching our audio-video presentation of Gordon College. So we will now proceed to our first presentation. But first, if you have questions about the 2 presentations that we will have, please don't hesitate to post it in the Zoom chat section or in our YouTube live stream. I am sure that our resource speakers will gladly answer your questions right after their presentation. Thank you very much. Our first presentation is entitled Online Learning Platforms, to be presented by our very own College Dean of the College of Computer Studies and concurrently the Vice President for Administration and Finance of Gordon College. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our first presenter in today's webinar, Dr. Erlinda C. Abarintos, or as we affectionately called her, Ma'am Linda.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, thank you for joining us today for this webinar. I would like to acknowledge first our college president, Ma'am Arlida Pame. Thank you for the support. And also to our Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Darwin Pagio, who's always been in support of all the initiatives of the College of Computer Studies. Thank you very much. And also, the reason why we are here, it's because of our CHEDRO Region 3, led by Dr. Maria Teresita Macana Semana, and also my dear friend who put me into this dilemma, Dr. Maria Teresa Salta. I could not just simply say no to her, so I am here. I've been on this stressful preparation, and I hope I would be able to meet your expectations in today's webinar. I would like to acknowledge all the participants, as mentioned earlier by Sir Arnie Armada. We have representatives from higher education institutions within Region 3, and I'm glad to be informed that we have someone from Pangasinan, so we have from Northern Luzon, and also as far as Mindanao, we have someone from Cotabato. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. And he was the first to join the meeting room earlier. So thank you very much for that. And we hope from Gordon College that we would really be able to meet all your expectations for today's webinar. Okay. I would also like to acknowledge si Ma'am Heidelin Gamido. She was the one who provided us the guide for this webinar. provided us info on what topics we could cover for this. And I think it would just be a reiteration of what we know about LMS, what we should be doing, since right now the hashtag in the education sector is hashtag LMS. If you don't know what LMS is all about, if you're in the education sector, something must be wrong about you. So I hope we could be able to enlighten others and somehow remind everyone of what we know about LMS. Uh, we uh, we have not really seen the importance. We have not really seen the importance of LMS. For the past years, I've been with the education sector for 20 years. But somehow being in the College of Computer Studies, even though we have been using LMS in our delivery of our learning materials in the College of Computer Studies, but it was not really that full-blown. It was just simply a support of what we have been doing in the face-to-face delivery of our learning materials, because we cannot deny the impact of the face-to-face interaction when we deliver our course materials for our students. But since we are in this pandemic situation right now, somehow it leave us no choice to embrace this methodology, this platform in delivering our course materials, because we care about the health of everyone, we care about the safety of everyone, but we cannot just simply accept the call of some in our community for academic freeze, because I think that's not simply the choice right now. That's not simply the option right now. We can look for options. We can consider other platforms to deliver. And one way to do that is through our through the use of learning management system. Okay, so wait, I would like to share. Good day po to everyone, to my mga P-Site colleagues, P-Site Region 3 colleagues, sa mga ano to, yung sa ating CDITE na ngayon po ay ACE.PH, Association of Computing Education, Deans and Program Heads. Welcome po. It's nice to see similar, familiar faces. Especially I am happy to see Ma'am Marcos from NEUST. Good afternoon po, Ma'am. Nice to see you again, even through virtual. Okay, so to start with my presentation, learning management system. So I probably would be covering these topics. Basically, what is LMS? Who can benefit from an LMS? And what are the benefits we can take if we're going to use the LMS platform in delivering our course materials in our institution? What are the advantages and disadvantages of LMS? We are all aware there's always a pros and cons of using anything new, okay? And then probably some inputs on types of LMS by criteria, for example, types by licensing or types by deployment options. And also, we will try to present to you available LMS right now in the market, not only being used in the Philippines, but globally. And what are the top features you have to look for in an LMS if there would be some institutions who have not considered implementing LMS yet in their instructions delivery, and also what would be the implementation steps we could consider if we really want to establish an LMS system in our institutions. Okay, but before that, I would like to get to know our participants. I would like to apologize for those who have registered, but unfortunately, they were not allowed to get into this Zoom webinar because I had requested Ma'am Teresa Alta that I would be using my personal Zoom account, which is somehow limited only to 100 participants. So we decided that it would be streamed online via YouTube, and right now it is being streamed uh, via Facebook through the page of the Cedro Region 3. Tama ba ako, Ma'am Tere? It's being live streamed in Facebook page of Cedro 3.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So at least we can accommodate those who have not been given access to the Zoom webinar directly. So based on the registration, this is somehow the statistics of our participants. So by sex, for those who registered, we have 54% female, and then male would be 45.9% who had registered for this webinar. And then if we're going to uh, consider the job role of those participants, remember we asked you what is your job role in your institution. So based on the registration, there are 3.1 students. Right now, we have students from Gordon College who are joining us in this webinar because they are the one who had been part of the development of our GC LAMP. Kung nakita niyo po yung name kanina mentioned together with Sir Melner Balse, some of them are here today to assist us and give us support for this webinar. Okay, so administrative role in their institution, there are 28. So these are the VPs, the deans. So we have 28.6%. And the teaching personnel who are in here right now, we have 68.4%. Okay. And then by province, so ito po, I think all provinces in Region 3 are represented. We have from Bataan, Zambales, Tarlac, Pampanga, Bulacan, and Nueva Ecija. And as we have mentioned earlier, we have a representative from Pangasinan and also from Maguindanao, Cotabato. I don't know if we got it right na it's from the province of Maguindanao. So yan po yung participants natin by province. And then we also ask you if your school is currently using LMS for flexible learning, and based on the response, there were 83.7 who replied yes, they are currently using an LMS for their flexible learning delivery. But unfortunately, there are 10.2% who are not using LMS right now, and 6.1% have plans in the future, in the near future, to implement LMS in their learning delivery for their students. And hopefully, this webinar would be a guide to them. And for those who have, they could just simply check if they are on the right track. Okay. For those who don't have, I hope this webinar would be able to influence you and your institution to start looking for an LMS platform that you can use for your institution. Okay, so those are the profile of our participants for today, and hopefully it resonates also for our viewers in the Facebook Live and the YouTube Live. Okay, so syempre we need to define, we need to level up leveling up of what we know about learning management system. As ito na nga yung hashtag of the year 2020, maliban sa COVID-19, in the education sector, the common question is, are you using LMS in your school? What type of LMS are you using in your school? So hashtag LMS. So what do we mean by LMS? Okay, so learning management systems is a software that is designed specifically to create, to distribute, and manage the delivery of educational content. Okay, so basically, that is the purpose of a learning management system, wherein it would be a repository of all these courses, and besides that, it should be able to manage the delivery of those learning materials. Okay, and we have to make sure a good LMS should help to make learning interesting. It has to engage learners or our students so they can take a more active role in their own development. It should be simple to access and use in order to encourage learners to participate. It has to be user-friendly in appearance and functionality. So who can benefit from LMS? So who can benefit from an LMS? Everyone involved in the education sector and its community. Okay, administrators who will be responsible for managing the LMS platform. Okay, and then the educators, our instructors, our teaching personnel who would oversee course management, content management, and assigning specific learner groups or student groups to specific learning plans and tracking their learning outcomes and progress. And syempre, it would be our students who would really benefit greatly in an LMS. They would be able to see their course catalog, complete assigned courses, and any evaluation and measure their own progress. Okay, so those are the people or the sectors who can benefit from an LMS implementation platform. So in general, what would be the benefits of an learning management system? Okay, as you can see, LMS provides all-in-one platform for learning and upgrading the skill set. So basically, that's supposed to be the objective of your learning management system platform. It should provide tons of online courses, which gives the user an option to choose as per their choice. So it's not only the education sector that would somehow use or implement LMS. Even companies in the business sectors and other industry, they could use LMS in training their employees. Okay, especially right now that face-to-face is not really recommended by our government. So this LMS platform could really help us deliver our learning materials or training materials to our target users. Okay? It helps in tracking individual development progress, okay? Because it's documented, you have recordings of all activities happening in the learning environment through the LMS. So tracking of individual development progress would really be possible, okay? And it reduces the learning cost and time of travel and space arrangement. So definitely, it reduces in the sense na students would not be, let's say, going to school to attend classes. They could be at the comfort of their home, and even the teaching personnel, they don't have to go to their institutions, to their schools. Okay, so those are some of the benefits of an LMS implementation. Okay, so generally, LMS benefits could be summarized into this. It organizes and safely store big data, since all learning materials, activities being conducted inside the LMS platform are stored. So it would really be able, the institution could really be able to organize and store this big data. And also, it could monitor learner progress and performance. As I have mentioned earlier, individually, each student would have a record of all his participation, his performance in each class. So it would really be able to easily monitor their progress and performance. And also, it improves e-learning accessibility. It allows you to deploy and track online training courses without geographical limitations. So right now, you can accept students even outside your community, outside your city or municipality, or even outside your province or your region, as long as they are willing to participate and join uh, or enlist in your institutions. Okay. Okay. So with those benefits, what basically are the advantages of using LMS? Okay. When we talk about advantages, okay, we have this, some of the advantages I was able to identify. Okay. Teachers can use established pedagogical models to deliver more personalized lessons and increase the engagement level of students. So the instructors or the teachers can streamline the learning pattern that he or she wants to be utilized in his or her class, okay, in her online class. Okay, students respond well to micro-learning, and the LMS is a perfect platform for facilitating the format of learning. Since everything is digital, students can learn on their own via computers, laptops, and mobile devices to keep learning alive 24/7. So even if you're done sharing your materials to your students in a synchronous manner, later on, they could still go back to those materials and review, because it is properly documented. They have the platform wherein they could always go back, okay? So it would increase also mobility, because they can access it anywhere, anytime, as long as they have connectivity, okay? So learning is more fun, okay? Because depending on the type of LMS you're using, there are LMS who has gamification in their features. So somehow that is one of the things that could somehow entice this generation today of students to embrace the learning of what we have right now. Okay, student progression through lessons and assessment becomes more self-driven, tapping into the natural way humans learn. Okay, because they could always go back to the lessons on their own pace. Artificial intelligence and automation make administration of learning materials easier for instructors, freeing up their time for other teaching opportunities. So easy management of class. So that is basically the what we are looking for in LMS. As what they say, these are the advantages. But basically, there are advantages. We can expect that there are disadvantages also. So one of disadvantages, and then I think we have realized this also, the reduced face-to-face interaction. Okay, many things need to be physically done, could not be accomplished right now because we are delivering our learning materials online. Okay, so it reduces our face-to-face interactions with our students. Okay, as no gathering is required for learning, since gathering would be done online. Okay, and it also increases tunnel effect of learning. Hence, the scope of wide thinking may get reduced, and the user may just see through LMS. So that's one of the disadvantages, thereby leaving many opportunities outside. Kasi nga, it is all combined in what your LMS platform can offer to them. Okay, so some students and need motivation and encouragement to learn, which will be missing, and thereby credibility issues on students will be present. So those are the disadvantages of LMS. Okay. So if you have any questions po or comments, you may type it at our chat box, and later on after the sessions of the two talks, we will be entertaining your queries or your questions. Okay, so after identifying the advantages and disadvantages of an LMS platform, we need to know what are the different types of LMS available right now. So there are two criteria we need to consider. We need to consider what type of licensing you would consider in implementing LMS in your institution, and also the type of deployment options. Okay, so those are the two criteria we need to consider in implementing LMS in our educational institutions. So for licensing type, okay, there are three types of licensing for LMS. One, we have the so-called open source. So these are basically open on the web where anyone can have access, and then there's a community that collaborate with one another to somehow improve and enhance this open source LMS. Okay. Another type would be the pre-license. So there are LMS that you can develop in-house. So that means no license would be uh, required for users to access it. So we have the so-called pre-license, and another type would be the paid license. So right now, most of the commercialized LMS fall into this paid license. There are LMS that would somehow give you the options to try it, or how would you, free access for a certain period of time, and then if you want uh, to prolong the use, you need to pay for a certain license. So those are the 3 types of licensing for LMS. Okay, so how are they? How are this LMS type compared? Okay, so proprietary, this is the license LMS, and then the open source. Okay, so for proprietary LMS, cost base can require different types of licensing fee. So there are LMS license fee that would be depending on the validity period. If you would only be requiring them for a quarter or for semi-annual or annually or monthly. So that would be one thing you need to consider, or depends also per number of courses or for number of teaching personnel that will be using such, or it would be depending on the per user. So those are the things you need to consider if you're going to use a proprietary or a licensed LMS. For an open source, okay, it doesn't include any license fee, but to launch such LMS, you have to spend your time and efforts because you have to be on your own, explore it, okay? Time and effort. You need people uh, to work on the deployment of such LMS, and also you have to cover for the cost of the hardware, okay? For the time and effort needed for implementation, for licensed LMS, it would be fairly easy. All you have to do is pay for the license fee and you will be given access. All the users will be given access for such LMS. Although on the side of the open source LMS, it can require advanced technical skills and great cost in the sense that you need to identify people and the hardware that you would be needing for such implementation. Okay. For the client support maintenance services, so if you're using licensed LMS, so technical support is part of the service agreement. So if you have any concerns with the use of that LMS, all you have to do is contact the LMS vendor. For the open source LMS, it requires additional cost for a dedicated team or third-party support provider. If you don't have that in your institutions, you need to assign someone that would monitor the use of such open source LMS. Okay. Ease of customization, if you're using a license, it would be done by the vendors themselves. Okay. So sila lang yung may access doon sa codes ng kanilang LMS system. And for the open source, all projects may be implemented as much as the LMS architecture allows you to do it. Okay? Kaya one of the advantage of open source LMS, there would be collaboration from different developers who are somehow committed to share their expertise, their skills, to help others to improve the LMS. Okay? Okay, so those are the comparison of the licensing type, open source and the license LMS. So what about deployment options, the type of LMS depending on the deployment options? So for the deployment options, they are the so-called cloud-based or the software as a service platform, SaaS. It is hosted on the cloud. It usually the LMS vendor maintains the system and carries out any tech updates or upgrades. So no major requirement for the institution to do that. It's also part of the service agreement. But if it's self-hosted or on-premise learning management system that would require software downloads hosted on the organization's own server or host. Okay, so for the GC LAMP, this is our deployment option, the self-hosted or on-premise. Okay, if your institution have enough budget for an LMS platform, easier to do that is to use the license type. But then there will always be an advantage and disadvantage of using such. Okay. And also, one deployment option is either you have a desktop application, okay, it can be accessed through a web browser or even accessible on multiple devices, and also a mobile application, learning management system that are accessible whenever, wherever via mobile device. Okay, for the GC LAMP, we have the desktop or the web application version and also the mobile application version. Okay. So comparison depending on deployment, when you have an on-premise LMS, okay, or a self-hosted LMS, website for LMS, you would be required, okay, to have your domain, your hosting, your support, your storage for such LMS content, okay. But for if you're using hosted LMS or yung cloud-based LMS, it's not really required. It can be installed on the vendor's domain. Although there are LMS, even if it's hosted or it's a cloud-based LMS, the HEI would somehow be using their domain. Okay. Dedicated internal IT team. Okay. So if you have an on-premise LMS, you need to identify and assign a dedicated internal IT team to monitor the use of such LMS. While if you have a hosted LMS or a cloud-based LMS, it's the vendor's IT team that handles all IT activities. All you have to do is call them that I have problem accessing this my account. So the hosted LMS vendor would be providing technical support, okay, for that. Okay. IT support costs, on-premise, it's high because you need to assign dedicated IT team, hardware for that, and possible software to launch the LMS. For hosted LMS, it would be low because it is part of the uh, package agreement you have with the vendor, LMS vendor, and the more license you subscribe to that LMS vendor, the more you lower the cost. Okay, so somehow when we talk about cost, IT support costs, hosted LMS would offer you low. Okay, hardware and software costs, scalability and reliability. Okay, it would be high on premise LMS, especially in case of a standalone setup. Okay, but for the hosted LMS, it could be low because it's included in the subscription fees. You simply purchase your subscription and migrate your data. Okay, because that is really part of the LMS package you are availing. Maintenance and upgrade costs. Okay, so usually for the hosted upgrade costs, if it's part of the agreement, that upgrade cost would not be additional charge for the license, uh, much lower yung cost. But then for on-premise, because you need to, when you say maintenance and upgrade, it would entail cost in the hardware and software requirements for such upgrade and maintenance. So high for the on-premise LMS. Okay. But for customizability, for the on-premise, it allows you for complete customization. You want to include gamification modules, adaptivity engines, and other high-level customizations, you can do that on-premise LMS platforms because you were the one who developed it. Unlike if it's a cloud-based learning management system, it comes as a package deal, so you are not allowed to tamper any of the codes of that LMS platform because it is the property of the LMS vendor. Okay, so that's the difference between an on-premise and hosted LMS. So on-premise LMS gives you the freedom to really manage, customize the content of your LMS platforms. And that's what we are experiencing with our GC Lab. Okay. Security, okay. So system security is usually guaranteed by the supplier company. So depending on the hardware and software you are using. But for the hosted LMS, organization must take measures to protect all data in the hosted LMS. Okay, so this is one thing you have to consider because you are entrusting all the data in your LMS vendor. You need to ensure that the data really is being protected once you pass the information to your or pass the data to your LMS vendor. Okay. So available LMS right now, I think you are all aware of this. So I have checked online what are the best LMS software in 2020, and this is what what the web showed me. So some of these are for education sectors, and some are being used in companies in other industries. Okay, as you can see, second best LMS is Google Classroom. Okay, then we have Moodle, Canvas, Schoology. Okay, so for if you have a small and medium scale organizations, so these are the recommended LMS that you can use. Canvas, Schoology, Adobe, if more on graphics yung inyong programs. And then for large scale organizations, these are the LMS that can be considered. Okay, you have Joomla, Edmodo, and Moodle. Okay, so Google Classroom, I think this is one of the most popular LMS we are using right now in the Philippines. Okay, Gordon College for one is using Google Classroom. Okay, since we are a G Suite member, G Suite for Education member, so we were able to avail of the use of this Google Classroom LMS. Adobe Captivate Prime, so this is for with the features that for AI-based social learning and extended enterprise training. So more on enterprise, okay. You're an Adobe user, they have their Adobe Captivate Prime LMS. And also Moodle. I think you've heard our Department of Education is using this also, Moodle. It's a free open source LMS for educators. admins and learners. Canvas, I think this one also is popular in our sectors. Big universities are using this Canvas LMS. Okay. And also Schoology. In Gordon College, where some of our faculty members are using this LMS platform. Okay. NEU LMS. Okay. It's an LMS for school, universities, and school district. Okay. So yung iba not that familiar with us, but somehow you would like to check on this best LMS being used right now globally. We have D2L, okay, a cloud-based LMS helping K-12 and higher education. So you might want to check that out also if you have not considered any LMS yet for your institutions. And also Edmodo. I think this one is also familiar. I have used this when I was starting to teach. Okay, this is also a good platform. We have OpenEDX. Okay, it's an open source platform also. And we have Blackboard LMS. Okay, it's also for higher education. So you might also want to check this one. So they are have been reviewed and rated by someone from the industry, and somehow this could be a good consideration in planning for our LMS deployment platforms. Okay. Okay, so those are the available LMS, not only in the Philippines, but globally. You might want to check that out. So what do you need to consider if you're looking for an LMS platform for your institutions? So here are some guides on what features you need to look for in an LMS. Okay. You need to consider the following. Okay. Okay. When you try to or when if you are planning to implement or to use LMS in your institution, how are you going to choose the possible best LMS based on your organizational needs or organization's needs? First, you have to consider your learning and development objectives in advance. Okay, what would really be your core L&D objectives and aims? Okay. Which skill sets of information are your learners expecting to take away from your e-learning course or online training or online delivery of courses? Before you even begin to explore your LMS options, you have to have a clear sense on what it is you hope to achieve when utilizing that LMS. Kasi kailangan po malinaw what would really be your organizational goals and objectives. Why you need an LMS in your organization. Because identifying these objectives and goals will help you meet your learning and development needs. Kasi kung hindi po define ang inyong goals and objectives, it would really be quite hard for you to identify if this LMS really meet the learning and development requirements or needs of your institution or your organization. It would really be able to help you to identify the need also of your users. Okay. And once you identify the learning and development objectives, next you have to consider is you have to identify, you have to know the skill sets of the learning and development team you are going to organize. Okay? It will help you uh, to choose an LMS that has the functionality and creative control you want and the usability you need. Okay? You need to choose an LMS that is simple and easy to use, but it doesn't allow your L&D team members to utilize their experience and know-how, then you're missing out on the invaluable human perspective. So you have to ensure that when you choose a certain LMS, you have a support L&D system, L&D team to ensure the proper implementation of such LMS platform. Kasi hindi po pwede, kahit if you're going to get a licensed LMS, you still need to identify your L&D team because they will be the one to maintain and sustain your LMS platform. So you need to identify that team and the skill sets you are looking for. Okay. And then after identifying your objectives, your team, skill sets of your L&D team, you need to identify and assess your current L&D strategy. That means you have to address what's the problem with your current strategy in delivering your course materials or your learning materials to your students. Okay, you need to identify that. Wait. Okay, so you need to identify that strategy. So you will know, baka po kasi yung current strategy that you are using would really be enough and you don't have to look for another platforms. So you need to assess why you need such change in your learning and development strategy. Okay, you need to identify what's really working effectively. So you would be able to select the best, if not effective LMS that will utilize the successful learning materials you currently have while fine-tuning the ones that do not support and promote your training objectives. Because there will be time that you will be, for pilot testing, that you will be simultaneously using the old platform and the new platform. So you could be able to really deploy the, I don't know if we can call that perfect LMS for your institution. Okay. Be sure to also evaluate learner performance and knowledge acquisition during your assessment. Okay. So would it really be effective to assess? Because there are LMS that would be effective for a certain program and not for other program offerings you have in your institution. So you have to identify which LMS you would really be able to consider implementing in your institution, because there are no such thing as one LMS fits all strategy. Okay, there would really be a possibility that you would be utilizing one or more LMS platform in your institutions. Okay, and then also you need to get feedback from your user. Okay, we need to know how they are using it, their feedback on the usability, the functionality, the features being offered for that. Okay, you need to get from your instructors, facilitators, and also your students, their feedback and their opinion concerning the current training or learning strategy you are using. So you would really be able to put that into consideration in identifying the possible LMS platform you can use in your institutions. Okay. Assess any technical considerations or limitations. Okay, so when you are choosing an LMS, you will have to evaluate how the new learning system will be integrated with your current technologies or software. Okay, so you need to identify that also. You will also want to consider how you want your learners to access the information. Will they be using their mobile device? Will they be using their laptops, their desktop? So you need to identify those technical limitations. Kasi baka po masayang yung efforts of identifying this LMS, but then because of those limitations from your user ends, it will not be that useful. So you have to put that into consideration. Okay, so does the LMS offer the essential features and functions you really need? So there are LMS right now available in the market that would offer you so many features. It would entice you to consider their LMS over the other because of these features, but you have to identify the essential features that your institution needs to deliver your program objectives. Kasi baka po puro palabok lang yung i-offer sa inyong features and it would not really be able to address the needs of your institution. So make sure you would be able to identify the essential features you need. Kasi there are times that if you don't need these specific features, somehow you cannot negotiate with the vendor for a lower pricing, for a lower license fee. So try to check on that feature. Okay, you have to make sure to narrow down the list to really identify only essential features that you would be needing for your LMS platform. Okay, then once you have identified those things, features, the limitations, the feedback, the objectives, you have to check also and review the experience and background of the LMS vendors if you are planning to purchase a licensed LMS. You have to check, and there are so many available online reviews from users, from other industry partners on how a certain LMS platform performs. Just like what I have shown you earlier, there are those LMS have been reviewed by industry experts and somehow gave us those ratings on how a certain LMS performs, what would be the strength and the weaknesses of those LMS. So you have to really check on that. Okay, you have to ask the vendors their experiences, their qualifications and background when you try to do the selection process. Okay, so wag lang magpa-entice sa mga features, but you have to check their background, their on how they support their clients, the after sales support. So you have to check on that. Okay, because that would be the one of the important things you need to consider if you're going to get a license LMS platform. You need to consider the vendor support, okay? The technical support. Even if you have the learning development team, but then if the vendor, LMS vendor will not really be able to provide support since they are the one who are developing the platform, they have access to for the upgrades and updates. So you have to ensure that vendor support will always be available if you need it. Okay. Okay. And then another thing you need to consider in choosing an LMS is the long-term maintenance. Okay. Adaptability and maintenance are key to ensure the future success of an LMS. Okay. It may meet all your requirements in regards to features and tech specifications, but you will also have to think about your LMS strategy in the long term. Okay. Will this still be useful after a few years of implementing, or do we need a different LMS based on the needs of the organization? So you need to consider that. Okay. Is it easy to maintain if you need to update it on a regular basis? Or you would really need an external support for that, okay? And you have to check also if it will be able to adapt the future needs of your organization, okay? You don't want to waste a lot, a big chunk of your budget on your new LMS only to discover that it won't suit your company or your organization's learning and development goals a year from now. So, kailangan long-term yung vision nyo in identifying, in considering the LMS platform you want to use on your organization's needs. Okay? And also, data tracking. Okay? So, for the long-term maintenance, also you have to uh, consider the data tracking capabilities of the LMS. Okay, so while the development and design capabilities of your LMS are important, you won't be able to create the best possible e-learning experience without tracking features. So you have to consider that. You want an LMS that offers your learners data tracking because basically that's one of the objectives of having this type of learning mode of delivery. So you can gauge your learner performance and determine if any areas of your learning course need to be fine-tuned. So you have to keep that in mind, okay? The data tracking, you have to check if it can really help you gauge the student's performance, okay? So okay pa po? Okay? So top features to look for, okay? So there you have the 10 must-have and to look for in an LMS. In summary, you have to ensure the ease of use. So it has to be as much as possible user-friendly so that anyone would really be able to use the platform the easiest way that they can. Okay. It has to be quick to learn. Should be quick to learn. Okay. So ease of use of such LMS. Okay. And you have integration. So you have to make sure that the LMS would have the ability to easily share data across organizational systems. Okay. So that's one thing you have to consider, especially if you have a big organization, if you have a big number of enrollees, you have a big number of teaching personnel. So integration of all those data should be one major considerations in uh, looking for in an LMS. Okay. And also, mobile and blended learning support. So right now, we are all aware, not everyone in our students community really have the access through their desktop or laptop devices. Some of them would really be depending on a mobile device. So make sure mobile embedded learning support would really be available. Okay. And then reports and analytics. So you have to make sure that you would be able to be provided with reports and analytics on how things are happening in your LMS. Okay, so this is one thing you need to consider, what you need to look for in an LMS. Okay, then responsive design. So it has to be same with being user friendly. It would be really easy to use, and it would have a design that would be responsive on the user's perspective. Okay. And then intuitive user interface. So more on the UI and the UX design, you have to consider that. Then yung support services, as I have mentioned earlier. So make sure after sales support would really be available, provided by your LMS vendor. And then security of data is another must-have feature. Okay. An LMS holds not only personal data of your students, but the learning materials also, which is somehow proprietary or of commercial value. So we have to make sure that all those are data are secured. Okay. And then customization and branding. So I hope there would be LMS available in the market right now that would allow you to somehow customize some features and help you help your institutions in your branding requirements. Okay, so those are the top features you need to look for in an LMS. Okay, okay, so once you have identified available LMS and the features you need to consider, here are the things you need to do if you want to implement an LMS in your organization. Okay. Here are some 6 possible steps that I would recommend that you have to consider in implementing your an LMS platform in your institutions. And if you have done implementing your LMS, you might want to check if you're on the right track of implementing the said LMS. Okay. So first, you need to create an LMS implementation plan. So as I have mentioned kanina, you have to identify your learning and development objectives and goals. Okay. You need to formulate your plan. Okay. As what the Little Prince author said, okay, a goal without a plan is just a wish. Okay. So you need to create and develop your LMS implementation plan. Okay. You need to identify your objectives. You always have to take note that objectives have to follow the SMART format. When we say SMART, it has to be specific, it has to be measurable, it has to be attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So those are the things you need to consider in creating your LMS implementation plan. You need to set a final deadline on your implementation plan. Okay. You have to determine your specific milestones, your target milestones, and define who is supposed to do. So your L&D team should be part of that. Okay. And you need to identify what should be delivered, who and what should be delivered in each milestones you have set, you have identified, okay? So importante in any plan would be the implementer, okay? So you need to really identify your L&D team with the right skill set, okay? Because this will be the people that will help you set up the LMS, create a process, evaluate the initial rollout, and then launch your platform. So you need to have this implementation team, okay? And then at the end of the day, your LMS implementation plan should include the following. What would that be? Okay, your implementation goal, timeline of specific milestones, okay, toward the main objective, and then the expected contribution of each member per milestone, okay? So those are the things you need to consider in creating your LMS plan, okay? And then after identifying or plotting your implementation plan, if you're going to purchase a license LMS, you need to choose your LMS vendor or provider. As what I have mentioned earlier, you check the reviews, you check their LMS package, if it really answer your LMS objectives, your learning and development objectives and goals. So you have to be very careful with your when choosing your LMS vendor, because if you're going to have a license, you are stuck with them for a certain period of time, let's say for a year, or depending on the contract you will be setting with them. So you have to ensure that you will be choosing the right LMS vendor or provider, okay? It would really be very, it would be a stringent selection process, but you have to really undergo that process. You really need to choose the best LMS vendor or provider that can really answer or help you deliver and put into reality your L&D objectives and goals, okay? You have to check if they are customer friendly and how reliable they are. Right now, there are so many forums available that would discuss their experience of a certain user for a certain, let's say, LMS. So find time to check on those details, okay? And then once you choose your LMS vendor provider, if ever you will be purchasing a licensed LMS, next you need to do is you have to build your project experts team on your organization's end. Not only the LMS vendor that should be in charge of that, but you need to have a counterpart on your organization's end, okay? Because most of the time, you will be coordinating with your LMS vendor provider remotely. So you need someone on your end to provide support, expertise to manage your LMS platform, okay? Because you cannot do it alone, and you will need people to help you execute your learning management system implementation project plan, okay? Hindi rin naman pwedeng one-man team yan. You need different experts with different backgrounds, okay? It could be your team leaders, your project managers, your e-learning specialists, your in-house LMS administrators, IT administrators, and then also your human resource personnel, okay? So make sure you will be able to identify and establish your project experts team. Okay. And then once you were able to identify that, okay, as the person in charge of planning your company's or your organization's LMS implementation, you have and you need to choose your members wisely. Make sure those you were able to identify as part of your project expert team would really be able to ensure the success of the implementation. Okay, so one way to do that is you have to, even if they are experts already, you need to train the administrators. Okay, you have to ensure that the LMS administrators in your organization are the people who would ensure that the system should be kept running smoothly. So to do that, you need to provide training for them also. And usually, these are provided by your LMS vendors, okay? Because they will be the one to help in the implementation of your LMS plan. They should be the one who are knowledgeable about the system and know the ins and outs more than anyone else. So you need to provide them training, and those administrators should really be identified based on their skill set, okay, their expertise, because they will have a big role in the implementation plan of your organizations. Okay, and then once you train the administrators, what you need to do is do a pilot launch. Okay, you do a final pilot rollout first to check how would that be, if there would be feedbacks, problems encountered in using the LMS platform you are implementing. So do a pilot launch, say do a beta testing of your LMS, okay, or a soft launch. They call it the soft launch of your LMS implementation. By you can do that by having a single training class test. Okay, so as much as possible, if it's your first time to launch or to use an LMS, try to identify one unit first of your organization, okay, to do the pilot launch, the pilot testing, or the soft launch of that LMS. So you could be able to first identify what would be the loopholes in the implementation, or are there any adjustments that need to be done? Okay? So wag mo nang buong organization o buong eskwelahan would be using that, kasi it would be catastrophic pagka isang error and ang dami nang gumagamit, minsan it would really be very hard to manage it. So identify a small unit muna on your organization, on your institutions, to test the platform and then get their feedback so you could be able to address once you launch it in a bigger bigger users or bigger audience. Okay, and make sure you really monitor. Okay, so you would be able to get the feedbacks right away and correct if there are any corrections, or revise if there are any revisions that need to be done. Okay, and then when doing that, you need to get feedback, evaluate, and then refine the process. Basically, that's the purpose of doing a pilot launch or a soft launch of your LMS platforms. So you could be able to get feedback, then evaluate if it's really effective, baka it's not the right LMS for your institutions. And then if it can be corrected, it can be refined, then do that process. Okay? So, I think that would be it for now based on what I have gathered to share to you. And I would like to leave this to everyone that we hope that this new way of digital learning would prove to be beneficial for the development of the human race. So, uh, again, good afternoon to everyone. And I do hope I was able to share something informative and beneficial to each one of you who are watching this webinar. Again, good afternoon po sa lahat.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Linda, for your presentation. So I hope everyone learned a lot from Ma'am Linda's presentation. So if you have questions about Ma'am Linda's presentation, please post it in the Zoom chat box or in our YouTube and Facebook live stream. And Ma'am Linda will answer them right after our next and last presenter. But before we move on to our next presenter, may I request everyone to turn on or open your camera for a group photo as requested by Dr. Salta. Group picture po tayo. Thank you po. Okay po Count. Ludel, can you hear me?
Sure.
Ludel, can you do the group photo? Okay lang?
Ganda na ako, sir. Wala akong plug-in nun, sir.
Sige. Ma'am, smile po 1, 2, 3. Wait lang po. Wait lang po mga ma'am, mga sir. Yung next page po. Next page po. Isa pa po. Smile po tayo. 1, 2, 3. Sinesave ko lang po. Wait lang po. Thank you po for the photo. So moving on, our second presentation is entitled Development of a Learning Management System, or LMS, to be presented to us by one of our faculty members of the College of Computer Studies. He is also the web administrator of our Gordon College website and the lead developer of our in-house application development team, responsible for the development of software applications used by our students, faculty, and staff. One of which is the highlight of his presentation, the GC LAMP, or the Gordon College Learners Academic Management Portal. Please join me in giving our next speaker a warm virtual applause. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Melner Balse.
Thank you, Sir Arnie. Good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon to the administrators and to the teachers who are watching the webinar. So we all know that COVID-19 pandemic created a devastating impact in our educational system. The situation is aggravated by learners' lack of school friends, teachers, and the safe space and services that schools provide. So in order for schools to provide continuing education, we rely on different e-education platforms. So let me share to you, let me walk you through our journey on how we develop Gordon College's Learning Academic Management Portal, or GC LAMP. And somehow, I hope somehow you will have an idea. It will give you an idea on how you will start your own learning management system. So let's start with the problem. Okay, problems. Gordon College does not have an online platform that will access, that will address the needs of the students for continuous learning. So although there is already an LMS that was developed 3 years ago by one of our BSCS students, the technology that was used is already outdated. GC has subscribed to G Suite for Education, and most of our instructors uses Google Classroom and other services part of this G Suite for Education. But there are still tools that we need, and these tools are available only in the enterprise version of G Suite for Education. And subscription to commercial LMS costs a lot of money. So alam naman po natin yon, no? Especially for us as part of the local government unit, most of the funding came from and controlled by the local government. There are other open source and commercialized learning management system available, but it does not fit the needs of the institution. So the features that we need are scattered to different LMS services. So our solution is to develop an in-house learning management system that is cost-effective and fits the needs of the institution. Cost-effective in a sense that Gordon College, as well as the students, should not spend additional fees for subscription to LMS. So we contacted some of our students coming from the BSCS and BSIT programs to form a team that will develop GC's LMS. So the team members, I think three of them are in inside this webinar. So the team members are Ludel Manaloto, Ludel,
Good afternoon po, guys.
um, Owen Jasper Vargas,
Afternoon po.
and Orly John Russell Labrador. They are graduating students coming from the BSCS program. And Rijan Egita. Rijan, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon po.
Okay, Rijan Egita, Jayla Bentilla, and Regine Luis Tolentino coming from BSIT program. They are also graduating students under the BSIT program. Yours truly serves as their technical advisor. And Dr. Erlinda Casella Barintos, or Ma'am Linda, serves as the team advisor and the project manager. Okay, so planning. So during the planning phase, we dig more on the features of existing LMS. We agreed that our LMS, we've identified the strengths and weaknesses of each popular and widely used commercialized LMS and enumerate the features that should be included in our LMS. So the team lists down the features according to priorities, and we agreed that our LMS must have a student and faculty portal, classes module for each course, uploading of learning resources and activities, submission of answers to posted activities, posting of comments, scores, announcements, scheduling of online class, and quiz generator. Students should uh, be able to relax and communicate with one another while learning, and we also have the mobile app version. And one thing that we consider in creating or developing the our LMS is the data security. No? There are other important features that which we think will add significant value in the LMS, such as um, gamification features, messaging, posting of images and videos, utilization of G Suite services, um, email and push notifications. Offline desktop application was also considered for those who choose the offline learning mode. So it will not have a video conferencing and SMS notification because it is costly to establish this kind of services. Um, for now, it will not have for now, but we are still taking it into consideration. Okay, so based from the priorities listed, we have identified the different phases of development. So for phase one, for phase one, which was initially launched and now being used by the College of Computer Studies. Um, so we have the classes with student list coming from GC Profile. So what is GC Profile? GC Profile is our in-house developed online enlistment and enrollment system, which was developed by BSIT students as part of their capstone project. We also have posting of learning resources, posting of activities, submission of students' answer to the activities, posting of announcements, comments, and additional resources or links, online class scheduling using Google Calendar and Google Meet, Forums Corner, where students can post anything under the sun that is interesting for them. So development of mobile application and encryption of data transferred for security purposes. For phase two, which is now being developed, and hopefully we can finish it by first week, second week, or maybe second week of October. We have online quiz generator, gamification. So in gamification, the students will earn badges and points and use those points to redeem rewards. Posting of images and videos, email and push notifications, integration of G Suite services, um, such as Google Drive and other services, and user experience improvements, such as adding of emojis in the post. For phase three, that will be on October after the development of phase two, from October to November. So we have the offline desktop application and offline features for mobile application for those students who do not have a stable internet connection. Okay, so the team identified the technologies to use. So we selected these technologies because we think it would be easier to migrate the system if newer versions of technology will come up. So the technologies are Angular framework, Ionic framework for the mobile app version, or Angular framework for the web and desktop version, Ionic framework for the mobile app version, and MySQL for our database. Now, during the development, so these are the additional activities that we have done during the development phase. So we created wireframes and storyboard. So lahat tayo dapat nagsisimula sa wireframes and storyboard. Part of wireframes and storyboard should be part of the planning, development, and design phase. Um, as soon as the storyboard was approved by our project manager, Ma'am Erlinda Abarintos, the developers created the architectural design to check what it will look like in different devices. So such as from desktop computers to mobile devices and to mobile devices such as tablets and smartphone. Afterwards, the team made the design functional. So that is where the Gordon College Learners Academic Management Portal, or GCLAMP, was created. So GCLAMP is consists of web access for student and faculty portal for the instructors and faculty. It also has a mobile version for students. Now, while waiting for the infrastructure that will be used by Gordon College for web services, GCLAMP was initially launched in the College of Computer Studies for further testing. So testing is currently done with the help of faculty and students of College of Computer Studies. We listen to their feedback. We listen to the feedback of the students and faculty to address the issues or bugs that they will encounter, as well as what should be done in order to improve the user experience. No, so these are some of the concerns that arise during the initial release or during the rollout of GCLAMP. Okay, so allow me to demonstrate to you what we have accomplished so far in the development of GCLAMP. So everything that you will see in the demo are actual data. So we've been using the application since the start of our um, regular class. Yeah. So let's start with the student portal. No? Let's try to log in a student account. Okay, this is what the main page looks like. It consists of 3 tabs. We have the um, classes tab, where all of the current subjects of the students are shown. Then the announcements tab, where all of the announcements coming from the administrators and deans are posted. And the forums tab, where the students may post anything that interests them. And it is being moderated by the administrators, deans, and um, program heads. So let's go back to the classes tab. So as I have said earlier, all of the courses currently enrolled by the student can be seen in this tab. So and when a student enters a class, so let's enter the operating systems class. Okay. Okay, they will see 4 tabs consisting of class feeds, activities, my works, and the members tab. So once the student clicks one of the resources, so let's proceed with the activities. So once the student clicks one of the resources, let's say for example, um, the student click or open the module 1 introduction to operating system, they will be able to see the content of the file, or the file, or they may also download the selected file. So that depends on the file type that was uploaded by the faculty. If the student wishes to upload his work, he just simply needs to click the activity. So in this case, we have the sample assignments. He just needs to click the activity and click the upload and submit buttons. So click upload, then click submit. So it will give a feedback that the file of the student was submitted successfully. Then in the My Works tab, sorry. In the My Works tab, okay, so this is where all of the submitted documents or answers to the activities by the students are shown. And lastly, we have the members tab, which contains all of the students enrolled in the current tab. As you can see, we did not display some of the information, and um, these are not clickable for security purposes. No. Now, we also have the achievement. So currently, the student doesn't have an achievement yet. This is for the gamification part of the LMS, no, wherein the student can earn badges and points that can in order to claim some rewards. So that's it for the student portal. So next is the faculty portal. No? So the faculty portal is somewhat similar or almost similar to the students portal. We also have the classes, announcements, and forums tab. The only difference is that um, the faculty may post and upload learning materials and assignments, activities, schedule a meeting using Google Meet. Okay, let's try to enter event-driven programming. So, so you may be able to schedule a class or an online class via Google Meet and Google Calendar. And um, the faculty may be able to post resources. So resources, courseware, and post activities. So currently, I have two activities posted in this class. So let's try to create another activity. So simply click create, then assignment, then the title, let's say module 3, the Python list, tuples, and dictionary. Then we have the instructions. So this is optional. If you have additional instructions, you may upload a document. It can be a PDF or a Word document. So simply click, click the Add File button. Then click Next. Now, um, you may, if you choose to assign the activity to selected students only, you may do so. You may select the students, or you may also click the all students if you choose um, to to assign the activity to all of your students. Then you may set the deadline. Let's say September 30. Then set a point, and then click assign. So that we already have our module 3 activity wherein the student may upload their activities. So you can also view, using the activities tab, you can also view the student work or the submitted works of the student. Let's say, for example, let's click here. So as you can see, we have downloaded the activity that was posted by um, the student. Okay, that would be it. So far, that's what we are now in the development of GCLAMP. I hope I was able to give you an idea on how to start the development of LMS for your institution. Okay, so thank you very much for listening. God bless. God bless to everyone.
Thank you very much, Sir Melner, for your presentation. So please, if you have questions about Sir Melner's presentation, please post it in our Zoom chat box or on our YouTube and Facebook live stream. So because we will now proceed to the question and answer portion of our webinar. So if you have questions, you may post it dun po sa ating Zoom chat box. And Ma'am Linda and Sir Melner will gladly answer your questions. Do you have any questions po? Wala po yata magtatanong, ma'am. Ito, yan po. We have a question from Ma'am Salta. Could you share any challenges that Gordon College encountered in the development and implementation of your in-house LMS? So that's Ma'am Salta's question.
Challenges. Marami. We have a lot, but somehow we try to ignore it and did not want to consider that as a problem. Una, the resources. First, funding budget for the first activating our GC domain. We have to somehow initially shell out our own personal resources to go with the development because that is one of the requirements. And then since you are all aware, Gordon College is a local city college. So we're restricted with some government processes, hindi pwede online purchases, hindi pwede online subscription because the city government would require you to present purchase order, purchase request, which is somehow very difficult in this time. But then, siguro with the goal in mind that we need to have this set up because I know it could really help in the future the operation of Gordon College, because if we're not going to start where we have started from all of this, we will not be here in front of you, all of you presenting what we have accomplished. And challenges in the sense na sleepless nights. Although ako personally, I'm very lucky that I have Melner Balse and our students who accepted the challenge to work on this. Siguro if not for them, we will not be here. If they were not able to, if they did not accept the challenge or yung threat ko, siguro yung pananakot ko sa kanila, that's one thing I'm good at, yung pananakot ko dito sa mga I don't know if they consider it pananakot, but then yun din siguro, ma'am. Siguro I was just lucky to identify our experts team members. That is one challenge everyone would really be facing if they want to pursue such endeavor. Kasi even if you have the best objectives, the best goal, the best plan, if you don't have the proper and the right team members to execute the plan, it would really be useless. So I was just lucky po siguro that I have these experts as team members to work with that objective, with that plan. So yun po. And challenge is to sustain them, to be able to sustain them, to go on with they have identified phase 3 up to phase 3 development. So sana hanggang kumapit sila sa objective namin to push through with this development. And I hope we were able to inspire everyone that it could be done. Hindi kasing grandioso ng Google Classroom, ng Canvas, ng Schoology, ng whatever is available right now. But then, this is something that could somehow satisfy our requirements for now. And hopefully, in the near future, it could still, based on the identified features na i-develop pa. So, sana po, umabot kami doon sa ganoong plano namin ma-achieve na accomplishment ng GC lang. Yun po.
Salamat, Ma'am Linda. You have a very good team. And I raised the question kasi there might be some HEIs who are in the same boat, or who are afraid to take the first step to develop their own LMS, given that we all have limited funds during this pandemic. Thank you, Sir Arnie.
Yan yung isang factor na talagang nag-push sa amin, ma'am. We have limited or no budget at all to get a license one. And then Google Classroom would be a good alternative, but then we cannot really customize it based on our organizational need. So yun yung naging motivation namin. Kasi with GC lang, once a student is enrolled, automatic join na siya dun sa class. Hindi na siya kailangan pang mag-join ng class. Kundi automatic, he is part of the class list na nakikita ng instructor. And then siya bilang estudyante, alam niya na doon siya. So only those who are officially enrolled, because it's interconnected with our enlistment and enrollment system, so madali po. The faculty doesn't have to worry kung meron ba siyang estudyante na hindi kasama doon sa list, hindi pa nakaka-join sa class, and then ang estudyante doesn't have to worry kung naka-join na ba sa klase ni ma'am o ni sir, kasi automatic po. Once he or she open the portal for the student, kita niya na kaagad yung mga enrolled subjects niya. And then yung faculty, once he or she opens the portal, he or she would be able to see na ano yung mga classes na assigned sa kanya at kung sino yung mga estudyante na naka-enroll na po doon. So yun po yung isang customization we did with GC lang na somehow we cannot do with Google Classroom.
Thank you, Ma'am Linda.
Baka po yung iba would have something to share. Meron po ba? We have launched a poll asking everyone on this Zoom. Ito po yung mga nag-participate. Nakikita niyo po yung poll results?
Yes, Ma'am Linda.
So, Moodle would have the sana yun. Siguro, although this would not say the totality of what we have in our community, but then Google Classroom, then in-house develop. So, yun po, yung somehow status natin ngayon. Kasi we really have no choice but to somehow use LMS platforms in our mode of delivery for our learning materials for this school year. Okay? Kaya nga lahat nga po talagang LMS, #LMS ang ano. So, mukhang wala na po. Para we can
Yes, ma'am, wala.
So, maraming salamat po for
Thank you po.
joining us. Sir Arnie?
Thank you po for the kind words dun po sa mga comment. Nagpapasalamat po sila. Thank you rin po for the opportunity and for the time that you have shared to us in this webinar. So before we wrap up this webinar, we will now proceed to the awarding of certificates of appreciation to our resource speaker. And that will be done by Dr. Maria Teresa Salta, Education Supervisor 2 of CHED Regional Office 3. Let me just share my screen. Ma'am, nakamute po kayo, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Sir Arnie. Okay. So on behalf of the Commission on Higher Education Region 3, in coordination with the Region 3 Higher Education Consortium, or R3HEC, we award this certificate of appreciation to our first speaker, Dr. Erlinda C. Abarintos, the Vice President for Administration and Finance, and also the College Dean of Gordon Colleges, College of Computer Studies, for sharing her invaluable expertise and inspiring insights as resource person during the Region 3 Higher Education Bayanihan webinar on online learning platforms held on 14 September 2020 via Zoom meeting. This initiative is one of the programs under the instruction thematic area of the Regional Higher Education Action Plan 2020-2022. Given this 14th day of September 2020 at the Chedro 3 office, City of San Fernando, Pampanga. Signed, Dr. Maria Teresita Macana Semana, Officer in Charge, Office of the Director 4 of CHED Region 3. Thank you very much po, Ma'am Linda. I wish I could give it to you personally. Another certificate of appreciation is awarded, of course, to our second speaker, Mr. Melner Balse, who is the developer and web administrator and also a faculty member of Gordon Colleges, for sharing his invaluable expertise and inspiring insights as resource person during the R3 High Ed Bayanihan webinar, this time on development of a learning management system, held on 14 September 2020 via Zoom meeting. This is also an initiative of the programs under the instruction thematic area of the Regional Higher Education Action Plan 2020-2022. Given this 14th day of September 2020 at Chedro 3, City of San Fernando, Pampanga. Signed again by our director, Dr. Maria Teresita Macana Semana, Officer in Charge, Office of the Director for Region 3. Thank you
Thank you very much,
sa ating mga speakers.
Dr.
Thank you, Ma'am Tere, and to our OIC, Dr. Simana. Hope to see you again, Ma'am, soon. I want to embrace you.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dr. Maria Teresa Salta. To wrap up our webinar for today, let us hear from, again, Dr. Maria Teresa Salta, Education Supervisor 2 of CHED Regional Office 3 for her closing remarks. A warm virtual applause, please.
Maraming salamat muli, Sir Arnie. Dapat pala tinuloy-tuloy ko na lang, ano? Magandang hapon po ulit sa ating lahat. So we have just wrapped up our fourth session in this series of webinars as part of our R3 High Ed Bayanihan project. So on behalf of the Commission on Higher Education, Region 3, and the thematic focal for instructions group, allow me to express our sincerest appreciation to our partners from Gordon College, headed by their president, Ma'am Arlida Pame, and their Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Darwin Pagyo. Madam and Sir, your support to this endeavor is a contributing factor to the success of this project. We commend Gordon College's efforts in helping out other HEIs. Okay? And we agree with you, Po, that during this time, the most important thing, and I think the good thing that COVID-19 brought is the bayanihan spirit in all of us. Also to our resource speakers for today, Mr. Melner Balse, and of course to Dr. Erlinda Casela Abarintos, who has been a very good and generous friend for the longest time. Almost 20 years na po yata, and still counting, I am sure. So when I asked if Gordon College would like to participate in this project, I hope, I assumed, Ma'am Linda, there was no second thought and no qualms about it. It was a ready and a resounding yes, a testament of Gordon College's commitment to help, especially during these times. Thank you for letting me add to your stresses. I owe you coffee and cake kapag okay na. Or baka it's the other way around. You owe me coffee and cake because that's how it has always been. What you did may not change the way we do things abruptly in the classroom, but I am sure that the impact is a stepping stone for all of our HEIs to take and embark on their own journey to develop their own LMS. So we also give recognition to all who participated in today's session. We do hope that you found the topic meaningful so that when you go back to your online classes, you will be able to apply what have been shared by our speakers. Almost all of us, for sure, are trying to find ways to make our classes accessible and interesting. Many people think that going online is much more convenient and easier than the traditional teaching learning mode. I am sure that by this time, many have been proven wrong. Kasi mas mahirap po talaga. I am sure many, if not all of us, have realized that going online requires more time, more preparation, more practice. Add to that the technological know-how and the technology that we need to conduct our online classes. So today's topic comes very timely. Tools that will make our online modality easier, faster, and more interesting, both to us and our students, are of utmost importance. We will have more sessions po on this, on similar topics hosted by other delivering HEIs. So it is with sincerest hope that these webinars and training that the Region 3 Higher Education Consortium, through the thematic focal for instructions, will help everyone journey through this digital transformation in education. Relative to that, let me take this opportunity again to invite other HEIs, other schools who have the capacity, the capability, and the willingness to share expertise and online resources to join our R3 High Ed Bayanihan and help other HEIs and be a testament of our tagline, sama-sama at tulong-tulong, walang iwanan sa mataas na antas ng edukasyon ng Region 3. We have, as of academic year 2019-2020, 209 higher education institutions, comprised of 12 state universities and colleges, 14 local universities and colleges, and 183 private higher education institutions, all of whom are migrating to this new normal. So it's very critical that we help when we can, and we appeal po to all other schools if you can. So please do not hesitate to let us know, and Shedro 3 will facilitate this for you. This project, of course, will not be made possible without the leadership and guidance of our OIC director, Dr. Maria Teresita Macanas Semana, and the support of all the officers and staff of CHEDRO 3. So again, I would reiterate our call for volunteer higher education institutions to participate. We released a memo last September 7, Memo 77, which is a call for HEIs to participate. So please do let us know. If you already have ready or scheduled webinars for your institution, you might want to reconsider and share them with other HEIs. So there is no better time than today to keep our doors open and share best practices and resources. Again, please let us know. Email me or send me a message through FB or send me a text message and I will get in touch with you. So CHEDRO 3 is here to help you facilitate. So wala pong malaki o maliit na eskwelahan ngayong panahong ito. Kung kayo po ay may maitutulong, maliit man o malaki, yaon po ay taus-pusong tatanggapin at magiging malaking tulong sa ating mga estudyante, guro at mga magulang. So once again, a big thank you to Gordon College for opening its doors to all of us. Ako na po ang magsasabi. If you need to know more, I am committing Dr. Linda already. Ma'am Linda, she is a person of a big, big heart po. I can attest to that. So let me also invite everyone to join us again on Thursday at 1:30 in the afternoon for our session on assessment of student performance using flexible learning. This time it will be hosted by Tarlac Agricultural University. And then again on the 18th, we have another one. This will run from 9:30 in the morning to 12 o'clock noon. Our speaker will be sharing how we manage this time data privacy in a work from home setup. So hope to see everyone virtually in the coming weeks. What time is it? It's 4:34 p.m. And we are officially adjourning this session after our closing prayer. Stay safe po everyone. Thank you again. There are no words, Ma'am Linda. Maraming salamat. Thank you. Sir Arnie.
Thank you very much, Dr. Salta. Thank you very much, CHED Region 3 for the opportunity, and we hope that you will continue to support us and be our partner for the benefit of our students. Rest assured that Gordon College will always be a strong partner of CHED, and we will gladly give any assistance, especially in this kind of endeavors. We would like to thank everyone for actively participating in this webinar. Please do not forget to submit your evaluation for this event. The link of the evaluation form is posted in our Zoom chat box. E-certificates will be given to you through email. Please do not hesitate to contact us if you still have questions or clarifications that you may have about the presentations. So may I invite Ma'am Linda for any closing statements or parting words before we end?
Again, thank you very much po for everyone, for CHEDRO 3, for Gordon College, for all HEIs who participated and who's watching us through Facebook Live and through YouTube Live. Thank you po for the trust and confidence you have given us. And hopefully we can collaborate more. Just let us know how we can be of support and assistance to your institution. We're more than willing to extend our knowledge to everyone, especially now. That's basically what we have achieved amidst this pandemic. We have the Bayanihan Act. So one way to immortalize that is let us be helpful to one another, be of service to everyone that we can reach out. And Gordon College will be one of those institutions you can count on if you need our support and assistance. We promise you that.
Bago po tayo magtapos, gusto ko po kayong anyanyahan sa isang panalangin sa pamamagitan ng isang video na nalikha at kinuha sa YouTube channel ni Ginoong Froilan Leoligaw.
Sabay-sabay po tayong lahat na manalangin. Dakilang Diyos, Ikaw ay aming dinadakila at pinasasalamatan sa mga biyaya na iyong ipinagkakaloob sa araw-araw. Pinupuri ka namin at itinataas sa seminar na ito. Salamat sa ipinagkaloob mong oras sa bawat isa. Muli, kami ay natutong mula sa mga tagapagsalita na iyong dinala at nagbahagi ng karunungan na galing rin naman sa iyo. Dalangin lang namin, O Diyos, na lagi mo lamang kaming tulungan na magamit ang aming natutunan upang sa ikatututo rin naman ng aming mga mag-aaral. Pagpalain mo ang bawat isa. Bigyan mo kami ng kalakasan na nagmumula sa iyo. Kalakasan na maisagawa namin ang mga tungkulin at responsibilidad na mapaglingkuran ang aming kapwa-guro, mga mag-aaral, at lalo't higit ikaw na aming Diyos na tapat sa lahat. Sa pagtatapos ng seminar sa araw na ito, muli mo kaming kinasangkapan at pinasagana ang aming kaalaman. Ingatan mo ang bawat isa sa paggawa at paglilingkod. Tulungan mo kami, O Diyos, na mapaunlad pa ang aming kakayahan sa pagtuturo, lalo ang sistema ng edukasyon. Bigyan mo kami ng malawak na kaisipan sa pagtanggap ng hamon ito. At ang lahat ng ito ay maisa sa katuparan sa biyaya mo. Sa iyo namin binabalik ang walang hanggang pagpupuri at pagpapasalamat sa matamis at pangyarihang pangalan ng iyong anak na si Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Again, thank you everyone for joining us and see you in our next R3 High Ed Bayanihan webinar next week. Thank you very much po. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much po.
Thank you po for your kind words po.
Thank you. My dear students, Owen, Tudel, Rejan, thank you very much.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hindi pa tayong gagawin. Sabi niya, pastry pa.
Yes, ma'am.
Dami pa.
Tama ba yun? Nag-roll call. Nagro-roll call si Madam. Tinatakot online. Thank you, Ma'am Linda. Ingat po. Ingat po lahat.
Yung isang gagawin na importante, make sure wag na yung ipagpabukas. Yeah. I owe you one whole cake, carrot cake. Kailangan uubusin mo yun lahat.
Bawal na.
Gagawan natin ng paraan yan, kahit bawal.
Bye, bye.
Bye. Thank you. Remove na natin yung iba. Guys, ano muna tayo? Okay, tumbali.
Live pa tayo sa YouTube, ma'am.